rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? Oh, my voice had to give in right there. I need to start a new series of videos for YouTube to make myself at least bit visible. But I have no clue how to go about it. I have no idea what to talk about. I feel endlessly stupid and foolish and like, why am I doing this in the first place? And shouldn't I just get a job and be done with it and forget about all of my artistic endeavors? Like, you understand when people think of someone who sits at home and spends decades upon decades doing their art. First, they assume you are good at art, that you're talented, and that your art is beautiful. Like, no. Second, they assume that you have means to do so and that you live a comfortable life, having everything that you need provided for you because you're rich or have rich spouse or you have some kind of security about you, so you can afford yourself to be this artistic person who's pursuing their dreams. Nah, I'm poor as a doormat. Anyway, I know I won't take this lightly. There are people much more poor, much deeper poverty than I am. I'm on the border and I live in Europe, so poverty in Europe is not the same as other parts of the world. I live comfortably and I have enough to get by, but it's not a life of luxury that I do my art because I have an excess of time. I do my art for my mental health, for my joy, and for my sense of purpose. As I paddle through this life of misery, depression, and austerity. But I'm frugal and I'm not all that strapped for money, and my family is like very nice to me. I love you all. Sorry. And I'm promising myself and everyone else I will get a job as soon as I'm done with this or that. If some new crisis does not arise. I used to be married, so my ex-husband was like the provider. It was not again a luxurious life. It was a snug, comfortable life on the again edge of poverty, but a little bit higher. But when I had my husband, I didn't do art as much as I do now when I'm like much poorer and much less secure. Because you have a husband, you have duties, and you don't have so much time. So after my divorce, I used my ability to float and not to drown in debts to afford myself basic necessities living in my father's apartment, to do art and do it like as much as I can because I'm constantly expecting those for this short grace period of time that is now almost a decade to expire under me, so I have to go back to the grinding and doing real jobs and real things because, of course, art is not a real job. So, various things happened, and I did have a job for a while, and Corona happened, and stuff, life happened. So, I did a lot of art in the last 10 years. Like, I did so much art in the last 10 years that I think that I will be accused that I have army of slaves doing jobs for me. But I did it all by myself because it was fun, because I can. And I had a video about AI and how nothing is done by AI to this date. If that changes, I will disclose it. But I don't want you to think about me as someone who is against technology. Without technology, I would not be able to produce so much art because I wouldn't have tools to convert my paintings into pictures, that pictures bits to adjust colors, to crop, and to do all sorts of things I do in Canva to make my covers. I wouldn't have the ability to self publish on Amazon because I wouldn't have tools to compose my books, to format my books. I wouldn't have a platform where I could publish it so it could be bought, so I have a hard copy of it. I appreciate technology. I love progress, and I love to use any tools available that I think that will improve my art, to make a process where I can make a finished product, no matter how poorly or how badly we don't. We're not speaking here that things are good. We're just speaking that I'm able to do them, despite my limited ability that would not lend me a publisher and would not lend me a gallery or something. But I'm able to buy canvases because they're cheap, because they're mass produced, and that's also a gift of technology. I'm able to buy my paints because they're cheap and mass produced. I live in my apartment because it's cheap, and it's not cheap, it's expensive. But I didn't buy it. But everything I own, everything I did, I owe to technology. And the progress in technology is what makes possible this outburst of creativity and this outpour of art that we haven't seen anywhere in the recorded history. Anyone with at least some education and a laptop can do so much these days that it's astounding. And I think that the most fear mongering about AI comes because privileged people realize they might lose their privilege because of it. Because giving it freely to all levels the field, and now you have to find a new way to lift your art about us poor us poor people you don't want to let through the heavenly gate of success. And I dislike that. I personally don't use AI because I don't see that it would improve upon my art. I see that it will lessen it, and that it would. I already have my streamlined process that doesn't require it, and I'm fearful that I would lose the ability to move through my process if I realize that I can cheat it. I'm a lazy person, no matter how it looks that I'm doing a lot. Everything I do is with passion, with joy, and with happiness. If I realize that I can cheat the process, that I can shorten it, that I can just like, no, I don't have to do this thou part, I don't have to that thou part, that I will stop showing up and be disciplined, and that I won't have the same results as I do right now. So I don't use AI, not because I'm technophobic, but because it though I see I can do everything I do without it. So there's no need for me to learn how to do prompts and to be frustrated with bad results. I tried to do few prompts when it just started, and the results were so abysmal. I was like, thank you. I will make it by hand, let it be ugly, but not in this way. So I'm sure for AI, because I don't garner the same kind of fear before it, because I don't consider it an intelligence. Because I think I understand enough to understand that it's just an improvement upon a tool we are already using for years. And it's not an AI from Terminator, at least It does not seem so. If I'm wrong, future, I'm sorry, I'm not a fortune teller. But for now, it just seems like a tool people can use and misuse, and of course, it needs its time to find its place and for fear to subside. But that's how things are with technology. Every new technology changes how we work, changes how we interact. I mean, when electrical lamps came about, jobs were lost because people were lighting each night the those that work on gas, and we should hope that this transition won't be so hard on us, and that people will get a grip on what this is and what it isn't before you draw so many people to destitute to lose even more jobs, and that new jobs will be created soon, or that we will now find a new paradigm to function on. Because for me, progress, if done correctly, the ultimate outcome of progress should be not that you have this small elite of billionaires who have control over everything, and the mass of people who have nothing to do and contribute, so you what die. But for everyone to live in moderate comfort. If you have means to create moderate comfort and food security for everyone, you should create moderate security and food for everyone. Like, the baseline should be that everyone lives with comfort, and if you want something more, you do, and find ways to procreate more. I'm being socialist, probably. But even if that utopian mindset is too much, you can't build a future where most people have nothing and few people have everything. People won't buy it. It's just like, nah. We are society, we are all one. We are all in this together on this one planet that rushes through the universe, that is very small and has limited resources. And the world is an Ouroboros in itself. Everything eats everything else. And if you produce more plastic, and more plastic, and more plastic, and then plastic doesn't get recycled, which it doesn't, soon you will replace every plant, every rock, everything with plastic. We'll have nothing to eat, and that's it. End of game. The game over. Nothing. There's nothing left. The same thing with money. If you make this system where nobody can earn money, then less and less people will have money, and then they will start to just exchange things and be like, fuck that money, I want to live. So anyway, you can't make a system where majority of people are just dying. It's not how this game works. You have to make it sustainable, livable, and to have at least some dignity to it. To be able to sit at home and like do nothing, if you will, and still not die. Because if you create technology good enough that we don't have to work, it does not mean that we should all lose our means of living because we are not useful anymore. We make technology to make our lives better, not to replace us. So that's my in line with AI. It's just a tool that will make our lives easier, hopefully. See you around. Bye.